Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Coverings that are used on a bed. Material used to provide a bed for animals. Coverings that are used on a bed. Coverings that are used on a bed. Material used to provide a bed for animals. Material used to provide a bed for animals. Conveyance consisting of a chair or bed carried on two poles by bearers. Give birth to a litter of animals. Make a place messy by strewing garbage around. Rubbish carelessly dropped or left about, especially in public places. Strew. Cigar butts littered the ground. The offspring at one birth of a multiparous mammal. A covering made of cloth. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. She measured off enough material for a dress. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. Having material or physical form or substance. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Coal is a hard black material. A person judged suitable for admission or employment. He was university material. Concerned with or affecting physical is distinct from intellectual or psychological well-being. Material needs. Concerned with worldly rather than spiritual interests. Material possessions. Derived from or composed of matter. The material universe. Directly relevant to a matter, especially a law case. His support made a material difference. Information, data or ideas or observations, that can be used or reworked into a finished form. The archives provided rich material for a definitive biography. Things needed for doing or making something. Writing materials. Informal terms for personal possessions. Overeat or eat immodestly, make a pig of oneself. She stuffed herself at the dinner. Fill with a stuffing while cooking. Have you stuffed the turkey yet? Senseless talk. Don't give me that stuff. Obstruct. My nose is all stuffed. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Wheat is the stuff they use to make bread. Press or force. A critically important or characteristic component. Suspense is the very stuff of narrative. Cram into a cavity. The child stuffed candy into his pockets. Fill tightly with a material. Stuff a pillow with feathers. Information in some unspecified form. It was stuff I had heard before. Miscellaneous unspecified objects. The trunk was full of stuff. Treat with grease, fill, and prepare for mounting. Stuff a bearskin. Unspecified qualities required to do or be something. The stuff of heroes. Decorative cover for a bed. Decorative cover for a bed. Bedding rolled up for carrying. Decorative cover for a bed. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. Anything that covers. There was a blanket of snow. Broad in scope or content. Blanket sanctions against human rights violators. A layer of lead surrounding the highly reactive core of a nuclear reactor. Cover as if with a blanket. Snow blanketed the fields. Form a blanket-like cover, over. A state of being relaxed and feeling no pain. He is a man who enjoys his comfort. Lessen pain or discomfort. Alleviate. Give moral or emotional strength to. The act of consoling. Giving relief in affliction. Bedding made of 2 layers of cloth filled with stuffing and stitched together. A freedom from financial difficulty that promotes a comfortable state. He had all the material comforts of this world. A feeling of freedom from worry or disappointment. Assistance, such as that provided to an enemy or to a known criminal. It gave comfort to the enemy. Satisfaction or physical well-being provided by a person or thing. His friendship was a comfort. A person who commiserates with someone who has had misfortune. A person who reduces the intensity, e.g., of fears, and calms and pacifies. Device used for an infant to suck or bite on. Bedding made of 2 layers of cloth filled with stuffing and stitched together. Decorative cover for a bed. A recording of a song that was first recorded or made popular by somebody else. They made a cover of a Beatles song. Form a cover over. The grass covered the grave. Clothe, as if for protection from the elements. Cover your head. A fixed charge by a restaurant or nightclub over and above the charge for food and drink. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The cover concealed their guns from enemy aircraft. Travel across or pass over. The caravan covered almost 100 miles each day. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The period covered the turn of the century. A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something. Under cover of darkness. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one sphere or territory. This should cover everyone in the group. Fire that makes it difficult for the enemy to fire on your own individuals or formations. Artillery provided covering fire for the withdrawal. Put something on top of something else. Cover the meat with a lot of gravy. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. The protective covering on the front, back, and spine of a book. Make up for shortcomings or a feeling of inferiority by exaggerating good qualities. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. He pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Hide from view or knowledge. The president covered the fact that he bugged the offices in the White House. Be responsible for reporting the details of, as in journalism. The cub reporter covered New York City. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. Put the cover back on the kettle. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The course covered all of Western civilization. Sit on, eggs. The female covers the eggs. Protect by insurance. The insurance won't cover this. Cover as if with a shroud. Copulate with a female, used especially of horses. The horse covers the mare. A false identity and background, especially one created for an undercover agent. Her new name and passport or cover for her next assignment. Be responsible for guarding an opponent in a game. Be sufficient to meet, defray, or offset the charge or cost of. Is this enough to cover the check? Help out by taking someone's place and temporarily assuming his responsibilities. She is covering for our secretary who is ill this week. Hold within range of an aimed firearm. Invest with a large or excessive amount of something. She covered herself with glory. Maintain a check on, especially by patrolling. The second officer covered the top floor. Play a higher card than the one previously played. Smith covered again. Protect or defend, a position in a game. He covered left field. Provide for. The grant doesn't cover my salary. Provide with a covering or cause to be covered. Cover her face with a handkerchief. Spread over a surface to conceal or protect. This paint covers well. To take an action to protect against future problems. Count the cash in the drawer twice just to cover yourself. Cause to go on or to be engaged or set in operation. Throw the lever. Convey or communicate. Of a smile, a look, a physical gesture. The maximum movement available to a pivoted or reciprocating piece by a cam. Organize or be responsible for. Have, throw, or make a party. Cause to be confused emotionally. Put or send forth. Get rid of. Be confusing or perplexing to. Cause to be unable to think clearly. Place or put with great energy. Utter with force. Utter vehemently. Throw accusations at someone. A single chance or instance. He couldn't afford $50 a throw. Bedclothes consisting of a lightweight cloth covering, an afghan or bedspread, that is casually thrown over something. Casting an object in order to determine an outcome randomly. He risked his fortune on a throw of the dice. Cause to fall off. Make on a potter's wheel. Move violently, energetically, or carelessly. Propel through the air. Throw a frisbee. The act of throwing, propelling something with a rapid movement of the arm and wrist. The catcher made a good throw to second base. Throw, a die, out onto a flat surface. To put into a state or activity hastily, suddenly, or carelessly. Throw the car into reverse. Fully extended in width. Outspread wings. Strew or distribute over an area. He spread fertilizer over the lawn. Distributed or spread over a considerable extent. 11 million Jews are spread throughout Europe. Distribute or disperse widely. The invaders spread their language all over the country. Process or result of distributing or extending over a wide expanse of space. Become distributed or widespread. The infection spread. act of extending over a wider scope or expanse of space or time. A tasty mixture to be spread on bread or crackers or used in preparing other dishes. Decorative cover for a bed. Cause to become widely known. Spread information. A conspicuous disparity or difference as between two figures. The spread between lending and borrowing costs. Farm consisting of a large tract of land along with facilities needed to raise livestock, especially cattle. Spread out or open from a closed or folded state. Spread your arms. Spread across or over. A big oil spot spread across the water. Two facing pages of a book or other publication. Become widely known and passed on. The rumor spread. A haphazard distribution in all directions. A meal that is well prepared and greatly enjoyed. They put out quite a spread. Move outward. Cover by spreading something over. Spread the bread with cheese. Prepared or arranged for a meal, especially having food set out. A table spread with food. The expansion of a person's girth, especially at middle age. She exercised to avoid that middle-aged spread. Distribute over a surface in a layer. Spread cheese on a piece of bread. Decorative cover for a bed. Bedclothes that provide a cover for a mattress. Suck in or take air. Blow hard and loudly. He huffed and puffed as he made his way up the mountain. A short light gust of air. To swell or cause to enlarge. Her face puffed up from the drugs. A slow inhalation, as of tobacco smoke. He took a puff on his pipe. A soft spherical object made from fluffy fibers, for applying powder to the skin. Bedding made of 2 layers of cloth filled with stuffing and stitched together. Smoke and exhale strongly. Puff a cigar. Gathered for protruding fullness. Puff sleeves. Forceful exhalation through the nose or mouth. He blew out all the candles with a single puff. Breathe noisily, as when one is exhausted. Praise extravagantly. The critics puffed up this Broadway production. Thick cushion used as a seat. A light inflated pastry or puff shell. Exaggerated praise, as for promotional purposes. Make proud or conceited. The sudden fame puffed her ego. Speak in a blustering or scornful manner. A puffing kind of man. Bedding made of 2 layers of cloth filled with stuffing and stitched together. Create by stitching together. Stitch or sew together. Quilt the skirt.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.